Hello bass family, and welcome to Everything Bass. I'm excited to kind of show you this simple method to practice your modes. It is so common because I felt it, and I'm sure that a lot of students feel it. You went through my series on the modes 1 through 7, like modes 1 Ionian, modes 2 Dorian. You went through all those videos, and then you get this kind of, now what? Well, one of the simplest things you can do is to learn to chain how the modes chain together. That's why this is called chaining the modes. They are all related in one key, and there's a way to practice them that will accomplish many goals. First of all, you need to memorize the order of the modes. Now what that means is the mode built off the first step of a major scale is called Ionian. Built off the second step of that same scale is Dorian, then Phrygian, then Lydian, then Mixolydian, then Aeolian, then Locrian, and back to Ionian again as we progress up to the octave. So it's important to memorize that sequence, and one of the things you do is this exercise I'm showing you today, chaining the modes. It's also important to see how the modes do link together, because that's also going to open up your fingerboard better, and I'll show you in future videos how you can use this chain of the modes to be able to get out of that one octave box that you're maybe playing bass lines in or soloing in. So I'm skirting the edge of that line where I'm making this too big of a topic. Remember, each video I want to be really small, bite-sized, very easy to assimilate, very easy to learn. So let's talk about this exercise. If you're a Patreon subscriber, if you have a Backstage Pass monthly subscription, you can actually go to patreon.com. The link is in the description below, and you can download the exact fingering for what I'm doing today. It's in standard notation, but it's also, more importantly, it'll show you the tabs so you won't sight read it maybe and see, maybe you make it harder. This is the easiest way I've ever found to do it. So we're going to start with on the G of the 3rd fret of the E string. Doesn't matter if you have a 6th string, 7th string, whatever. Start on that note, and you're going to play Ionian. Now remember, Ionian is the major scale. So we get up to the octave. Now that's G Ionian. The next mode in the key of G is A Dorian. Now we're not going to start on this A. We ended on this note. So we're going to slide up to this A and come down Dorian, which really helps you memorize the pattern shape. If you've had a difficulty memorizing the different modes, playing them backwards can strengthen that memory of it. So we go up Ionian, down Dorian. Now we're on A, we slide up to B, play Phrygian. Now luckily for us, Lydian is just a half step to C Lydian in the key of G. You come down, slide up to D, play Mixolydian. Slide up to E, play Aeolian. Go up to F sharp, play Locrian, and then come down G Ionian. Those are all the modes in the key of G major. And by going ascending one, descending the next one, ascending the one, and descending, first of all, I think it's more interesting, but it does make you memorize the patterns differently. They flow real nicely. Now you could do the inverse. This isn't what's written on the sheet on Patreon, but you could go down Ionian, up Dorian, then come down Phrygian, up Lydian, down Mixo, up Aeolian, down Locrian. I played it wrong, and then up Ionian. So you see, by just changing directions, it really reinforces, makes us look at it differently, hopefully your retention. But remember, the bare minimum goals of this is that you remember the sequence of the modes. If you remember in what order they come, what is always followed by what? Ionian is always followed by Dorian in that key, followed by Phrygian, followed by Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. They're always in that order as long as you stay in the one key. That can really help us as we tackle more in-depth topics in the future about using this chain of modes to be able to create more interesting solos or more interesting bass lines even. But let's look at on the surface. What a great warm-up. Every day pick a different route. Once you've memorized the sequence, that Ionian always goes to Dorian stuff, take a different key. You know, let's say you start on D. Play D Ionian, then down E Dorian, up to F sharp Phrygian, down, yeah, and then up, and just keep doing so on and so forth. You'll find that every day change roots, keep the sequence the same, but the pattern of the chords the same, and you'll really have a deeper understanding of the modes. I'm really stoked about this. I think this is going to be a really powerful way for you to memorize those things. When I'm teaching private lessons, this happens occasionally, where I'll get through the series of modes, and then my next step is application. So once I've taught the 7 modes over 7 weeks, or 7 lessons with students, that's usually 14 weeks, then what I like to do is start to improvise with them. And it happens so many times, but I'll say, okay, we got all the modes down, you know them all, let's do where we just improvise on G Lydian. And the student will go blank because they can't remember what that pattern is. Now once I start playing, they go, oh yeah, that pattern. So what they did is they memorize the pattern but not the name. And that's important. So say the names as you go through. D Ionian, E Dorian, F sharp Phrygian, G Lydian. By memorizing those and actually saying them, be conscious of them, it really can help. Likewise, now this is next level, this is extra credit stuff. Start in the mid. Let's go back to our familiar G one because you have it written down, and I want to stick with the written down material. Don't start on G. Maybe you go up to the B Phrygian. Play that, and then you say, okay, what was that? C Lydian. Go up to the D mixo. You see what I'm saying? Don't always start on G because that can become a crutch after a while, where you have to start on G to memorize all the other ones. Cherry pick, go through, pick any scale step, go down. Like maybe I start on D mixolydian, but then I go down, play the Lydian, all right, and so on and so forth, playing backwards, chain backwards. Get familiar with every direction. Man, you do this, it can't hurt you. It's going to only improve your understanding of harmony theory. Make certain topics that maybe intimidated before, you'll have more comfort in, you'll be bolder. You also get a good warm-up. It's a good technical warm-up. It's good for both the plucking hand and the fretting hand. So I love this exercise. Throw it on your practice stand for a couple weeks. Give it a couple weeks. Run through a couple different keys, or stay on G. I don't care. But just try it, and then let me know in the comments. Well, after 2 weeks of doing it, what are your thoughts? Was it worth it? Do you feel it wasn't worth it? I'd like to create this dialogue so that we can hopefully get you like progressing at a level that you're comfortable with and you're excited about. All right, guys, chaining the modes. I love this one. It's a real good warm-up. It's really great. You can also, there's so much you can do. You can change the rhythm. You can play all 16. You can double note. You could do triplets. You can do 16 notes. You can do phrases. Then do it through each one of the modes. There's so much you can do. But right now, just stick with what's written on the page you can find on my Patreon. Again, that's the links in the description below. Hope you consider becoming a Patreon member. It's only $8 a month, and there's a lot of resources there. There's over 100 videos. There's some extra perks that you're going to get as a Patreon subscriber that are exclusive to you. Anyway, that's enough of that. Please like the video if you liked the video, and subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to be over 1,000 subscribers. This has been a challenging year for everyone, myself included, and just seeing the subscribers grow, it really has made it easier. So if you've enjoyed the videos and you like them to start keep going, please just hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon so you're notified when I upload new videos. That would just mean so much to me. You guys have always been there for me, and I appreciate what you're doing for me and my family. And I love you, and I'll see you at the next video. Cool.